Greetings to you and welcome to the Designed Living, the channel where extraordinary people and visionaries meet, interact, and share their lives' experiences, and where hope and courage are in the center, the core of what we bring to you, our viewers, giving hope to the hopeless and courage to the courageous. We live life by design and not by default, and we celebrate excellence. We thank you for spending time with us today and trust that you will find our discussions and messages valuable to you. So enjoy till the end. And remember to press that like button. Our discussions and the topic today will be around things that most people, most of the time, takes them for granted. It is important to remember and know that the creator of heaven and earth, or the universe, used different mediums and people to, among other things, bring hope and courage to those who need them as we navigate through our lives daily in various parts of the world. So channels like ours form part of those mediums to play whatever role God wants us to play and how He wants us to partake in that process. It is not by coincidence for you to be watching our channel today, but rather a divine purpose for your life to do so. We are grateful to have you with us today on our channel. Now, Oprah Winfrey said, and I quote, "Every thought creates an action that will create consequence." She further went on to say that there are a lot of things that are beyond our control, but what we do, we have control over. How you react to whatever happens in your life is essential, because it either takes you closer to you attaining your dreams or delays it further, unquote. Now, you need to have a vision, a plan in your life so that you are able to know and determine whether what you are doing is taking you closer to you attaining your dreams, your plans, or the vision for your life. In other words, you need to live a purposeful life. Otherwise, to you, wherever you are hitting, it's a target, because you are not aiming at anything. You don't have a vision, you don't have a plan for your life. Hence, most of the people, they never live their lives fully in line with their purpose, God's purpose for their lives. And they live other people's lives. So it's very important to remember that. I consider myself a blessed person when I look where I come from where I was born, in that era where I grew up, the environment within I was raised, experiences, the information that I was exposed to, people that form part of my upbringing, schools I attended, companies I work for, businesses I was involved with, books I read, and so on. Because irrespective of all those things, including challenges, disappointments, along my journey or I encountered, I've made it to where I am, who I am now. I am cognizant of the fact that I'm not where I would want to be. But I'm proud that I'm not where I used to be. So when I look at my life, I'm convinced that there is something called God's grace. Now, one of the tremendous leaders and the former businessman who was successful on his own right, now turned a politician, and the current US President, Donald John Trump, said, and I quote, "God alone is the author of life and the giver of grace," unquote. Most people forget to give thanks for little successes they have achieved along their life journeys, and also fail to appreciate the little that they have, but expect bigger things while they fail to value, appreciate, and give thanks for what they have been blessed with so far. And I ask myself, why do they expect to receive more while they fail to look after what they have been blessed with so far? Because I believe that they need to start valuing and looking after what they have been blessed with so far for them to receive more. And I must confess also, though, that my life journey is still on. Yes, I haven't arrived. I'm still moving forward, because what I have achieved or accomplished so far and who I am now is nothing compared to what is in my future. Hence, I am encouraging you all to focus on what's ahead of you and learn from what is behind you, and never to repeat your mistakes and failures. It doesn't mean I don't appreciate what I have been blessed with so far. But what I'm saying is that I am content, but not complacent, because I know that God has greatness for my life now moving forward, and I am pressing on to my God's greatness, and I am not going to limit him by being complacent with my current accomplishment. Never. Now, I would suggest that when you have time, you read Philippians 3, verse 12 to 21. Briefly, it reads that, "So forget things that are behind so that you can attain the best ahead of you." In other words, do not allow things that are behind to stop you from attaining God's best for your life now moving forward by being complacent and resting on your achievements so far, because they are nothing compared to what lies ahead of you. So stand up and press on to your divine destiny. It is part of your life journey towards your destiny. Now let's look at those words, contentment and complacency. Contentment is satisfaction while you are progressing and getting better or getting best on what you are doing or what you have or what you have achieved or what you are, telling yourself that I am satisfied or grateful, but I am continuing to get better, to improve, getting more, progressing to the next level. Acknowledging that your best is still in the future. Refusing to settle for less. And complacency on the other side. It means refusing to work or to improve, telling yourself that it is good enough. I don't want to improve or work harder. By so doing, limiting God's greatness for your life. If we further look at complacent, you will realize that it means feeling so satisfied with your own abilities or situation that you feel that you don't need to try any harder. And Merriam-Webster dictionary defines complacent as self-satisfaction, especially when accompanied by an awareness of actual dangers and deficiencies. And Dr. Creflo Dollar said, and I quote, "Everybody experiences complacency time to time, but when it becomes a way of life, that's a problem." He further went on to say that being not aware of complacency can be destructive in your life. And he describes complacency as one of the dangerous things in one's life, or what one can do or subject himself or herself to, unquote. Now, you need to remember that your background, your history, or your past do not define who you are. Not at all. And it doesn't have to be your destiny. Let your failures, disappointments, be part of your lessons, because they do not represent who you are. So when you fall, for whatever reason, fall forward. By that I mean, stand up, dust off yourself, pick up the pieces, and keep on moving forward towards attaining your divine destiny or your dreams. Let's look at what Joyce Meyer said, and I quote, "That's how you finish that people remember. And that's important. Not your background, because you might have phenomenal ending." Unquote. That means highly extraordinary or exceptional ending is possible and awaiting for you. Yes, indeed. You've heard me correctly. It is possible, especially with God at the center of what you are doing. You might have to revise your tactics, your strategies along your life journey, but do not stop nor be discouraged. Sometimes the detours and off-ramps on our journey serve a specific good purpose in our favor, either to develop certain character, values, or they are there to protect you. So don't be discouraged by them. No, you might have had your parents, your loved ones, or your siblings sharing with you times that they find themselves delayed, unaware by whatever delayed them. And when they finish with whatever delayed them, they got into their car, and then few miles or kilometer ahead as they drive, they come to this deadly accident. And they realize when they pass there how blessed they were, or those or whatever delayed them was a blessing in a disguise, because they don't know what would have happened if they were not delayed by whatever delayed them. So, yeah, sometimes it might take you a bit longer to get where you are heading or achieving whatever you want to achieve. But one thing for sure, you will eventually get there. Complete, in one piece, healthy, so that when you get there, you can enjoy your dreams or whatever you were after. So what's the rush? Anyway, remember that God's timing, it's not ours. So don't give up, no stop, no matter what. Keep on moving forward towards attaining your dreams. It is better to try and fail than not to try at all, because you will never live the if ever life the rest of your life, regretting and wondering about what you no longer have control over, because you decided not to act when you had an opportunity. Sometimes most people get opportunities or are given opportunities, but they decide not to take them or use them, nor act upon them while there is still time, but rather they keep on postponing and procrastinating on them until they are gone. Now, you never know how long it will take for you to get another chance, or whether you will ever get another chance in your lifetime. Hence, taking a step and making good use of those opportunities is essential. So, take those opportunities and start your life journey now, or at least today. Stop waiting for the perfect timing, because there is no perfect time or something like that. Of course, it is not always going to be easy. It takes a lot of work to be successful, though it is possible, especially with the Almighty in the center. Bill Gates said, and I quote, "If you are born poor, it is not your mistake. But if you die poor, it is your mistake," unquote. Let me remind you that faith without action is meaningless. If we read James 2, verse 17, it reads that, "In the same way, faith by itself, if it is not accompanied by action, is dead." And Dr. Bill Winston said, and I quote, "No faith, no flow. So to get the flow, the faith must be accompanied by action," unquote. Seth Godin also said, I quote, "The cost of being wrong is less than the cost of doing nothing," unquote. Do not be part of those waiting and standing by side while busy criticizing the go-getters, those who are prepared to do something about their lives and are prepared to take a step towards attaining their dreams or God's best for their lives. Run your own race on your own lane. Do not compete nor compare yourself with anybody. So don't worry about the distractors who have allowed themselves to be used and devoured by the devil. Do not compromise your integrity and your credibility during that process of your life journey, but rather be encouraged by those whom you look upon so that you can work harder on what you are doing and do it even better. Yes, that's what I will encourage you to do. And remember that God's best is still ahead of your life. What you think it's great now, it's nothing to what lies ahead of you. Now let's look at Proverbs 10 verse 9. It reads that people with integrity walk safely, and those who follow crooked paths are exposed. The best way to get things done is simply to begin. So remember that when you kick in faith, little becomes much. Small become big. Empty become full. Sometimes it overflows. Poverty becomes prosperity, and hopelessness turns into hope. The power is in your hands and your tongue. So be careful of what you do and say. Keep on moving forward towards attaining your dreams and trust God, only Him, because He promised you that He will never leave nor forsake you. Yes, that's what He promised you. Now, if we look at Proverbs 18, verse 21, it also says that death and life are in the power of the tongue. Andrew Womack said, and I quote, "Simple adjustments yield big difference," unquote. So, little by little, and those who live in my country, they will understand when I say, "Biki biki mak mir." In other words, those little strikes adds up to plenty over time. So give thanks as you strike along your life journey. If miracle comes, so be it. But do not stand still where you are doing nothing, waiting for miracles. Let those miracles, if they come, find you somewhere along your life journey. Pressing on, moving forward aggressively towards your God best for your life. It is very important. Now, show and express gratitude, thankfulness, appreciation, gratefulness, and so on along your journey. as you strike, no matter how insignificant your strikes are. Since God has given you power, dominion, and authority over everything on this earth and underneath, you also have the responsibility to exercise it. You cannot just sit there and doing nothing and have wishful thinking. And sometime going back to God, begging Him to do what He has commanded you to do. You must take your authority and use it. There is no problem with God. Prayers works, but wrong prayers do not. You must pray, speak, and act in line with the authority that God has given you. And the Holy Bible is a very good source of that information. I call it a good book of wisdom and spiritual laws. Now, are you aware of what the word promises you concerning prosperity? Let's look at Deuteronomy 28, verse 8. It says that God has commanded His blessings upon all the work of your hands. This means that we must play our part and take a step towards attaining our blessings. In other words, there is time to pray and time to act, using our hands and our tongues for our blessings. Psalm 35, verse 27, reveals that God delights in the prosperity of His servants. Now, if you don't know these spiritual laws, you won't enforce them. You will not demand Satan to quit stealing from you and to turn loose of your God-given provision. You will not experience what is rightfully yours in Christ. So for you to use your authority and experience God's blessings, God's best for your life, you need to know what the spiritual laws are and what has been provided for you. Let me remind you again who you are in the eyes of the Almighty. You are His masterpiece, designed with remarkable abilities to evolve, to grow, to learn, and thrive. And it is what pushes us forward and incentivizes us to keep on pressing forward and makes us to work even harder in what we do. The key to improve your life is to do it for yourself, not for anyone else. Changing for someone else is a short-term motivation and it's not sustainable. But if you want those great habits to stick for long term, you need to make those changes for you only you and nobody else. Some of the things that you can do include hanging with the right people, shaking off toxic people in your life, and the entitlement mentality, because that's what kills most of the people. Change your thinking, because we are products of our thoughts. Invest in yourself in different ways and forms. Do not compare yourself nor compete with anybody. Rather, run your own race. Compliment people. There's nothing wrong with that. And that feeling will come to you. Be generous. Be a blessing to others. And it doesn't have to be always monetary. Use what God has given you, whatever talent that you are blessed with. Use it to help others. And do not form part of those people who envy others. And stop judging, criticizing, but rather concentrate on the positive things. Now, Rumi said, and I quote, "Yesterday I was clever, so I wanted to change the world. Today I am wise, so I am changing myself." Unquote. If a person has ugly thoughts, it begins to show on the face. So if you have good thoughts, they will shine out of your face like the sunbeam, and you will always look lovely. So look out for those thoughts and focus on the good. The truth is, we hold the key to the happiness levels in our own lives. Barack Obama said, and I quote, "Nobody will give you anything that you have not earned. And there is no time for excuses," unquote. With those words, I would like to highlight the following. There is no success without hard work. It is never too late to start. Start right where you are. The time will never be right. So stop waiting for the right time, because you will wait and stay where you are the rest of your life, missing on opportunities. Warren Buffett said, and I quote, "The only question is whether you are going to do it today or tomorrow. If you keep saying you are going to do it tomorrow, you will never do it. You have to do it today," unquote. Remember also that fear can hold you a prisoner, but hope can set you free. Success is not something that happens, but something that you create. Hence, it's important not to live life by default, but rather design it. Be consistent on what you are doing, and do not be weary nor be discouraged. Keep on pressing forward towards attaining your God best for your life. It is possible, no matter what, because nothing is impossible. Nelson Rolihlahla Mandela said, and I quote, "It always seems impossible until it is done," unquote. So you too, you can do it. You can achieve whatever you believe in. You may not understand how now, but achieving it, you can. So focus on the end goal, or what you want to achieve, and take a step of faith. In other words, act, do something towards attaining your dreams. Sometimes you need to verbalize it, because you know the power is in our tongues. Yes, sometimes it will need you to do that. It was a great pleasure, an honor to have you with us today, right here on our channel. And we thank you for continuing to listen to our messages, our videos on our channel. And remember to keep on pressing that like button. Till next time, peace and love. Thank you.